That's one of the things I wanted to say on. Like, when, confidence for me is the biggest drug in football, especially for a striker. And a striker's currency is measured in goals. And when Jesus hadn't scored for a year, that's obviously going to weigh on his mental, especially if he's not a particularly, in my opinion, he's a very emotional player. When you see Jesus, he can be quite petulant. He can allow the game to kind of get to him. So obviously, the lack of goals has obviously affected him. And we even see with the best of players and mentally strong players, even for instance, at this moment in time, we see Haaland. Haaland is a player who's usually very ice cold and in the box, and whereas at the moment he's struggling for goals. So it just shows you how important confidence is. And if we are going to have any success this season, we're going to need our squad players, or the players that are on the fringes of the first team, or the starting 11 to contribute. And the likes of Jesus, along with Martinelli. For me, I think Martinelli needs to be spoken about. I've come on here many a times and criticized Martinelli's performances on the left, and I thought today on the right he was outstanding. I thought a big part of that is because there was less thinking to do. He was just more direct. He was able to and he was up against a solid 1v1 defender in Mitchell. Mitchell was the type of defender that gives a lot of the best right wingers a tough time. So I thought he was a lot more instinctive today. I thought he he played in the traditional kind of right winger, chalk on boots. And I know some people might kind of cling on to this, it's probably because the right hand side is more kind of balanced and fixed with Odegaard and Timber and everything. But for me, it was just more to do with the play himself. When he did have the ball, he was more assertive in his actions and more. Yeah, he had more. He was very definitive in his actions, and it was good to see. And it gives you a little bit
unpredictable, because it's just a case of like no one's seen him play on the right, or we've seen very small sample sizes. So what do coaches really do? Because the fact is, he's a direct player who can take on his wing back, and that's the one part that they couldn't get over. The right hand side is definitely more balanced. There is definitely a certain issue that's happening, whether it's the midfield, whether it's the left back. But I feel like with Martinelli, I've always said it, the less he thinks, the better. He's a stupid player, but that can sometimes be good. I don't mean it in a dismal way. It's just that, he doesn't. The more he thinks, the worse he gets.
But that's the right hand side is better for him.
But his pressing today was impeccable.
But that's why I say the right hand side is. Sorry, that's why I was agreeing with you. I said the right hand side is better because he doesn't have to cut in and think. When you're cutting in from the left hand side and you're going onto your right foot, you have more time. You're either going to play the safe option or you're trying. There's more time to follow. Whereas when you're chalk on boots winger, you're just going to go down the byline and cross. You're going to do the simple actions. Your choices are very simple. So,
Trimless, with it looking like Saka's going to miss a period of time, who would you start? Who would, and I understand different teams, different players, different games, but who would be top of your list right now to start on the right-hand side instead of Saka? Who would replace him, in your opinion, Trimless?
Yeah, it'd have to be either Martinelli or Trossard, really. Obviously, you'd hope for Sterling to start stepping up, but yeah, probably in terms of games where I'm thinking when we're in their final third, we need to probably be a bit more slow and keep the ball. I'm thinking Trossard, but in terms where there's space to run in behind or to be more direct, I'm thinking Martinelli. But it'll be 50-50 between Martinelli and Trossard, to be honest with you. I won't be able to pick between the two. I see Ash shaking your head. Ash, why are you beefing me, bro?
I wouldn't. No, not beefing with you, bro, because everyone says that, but I wouldn't start either, to be honest. There.
So who are you starting? Waneri.
I'd start Ethan Waneri because he's a left-footed player. I know he's a 10. I get it, but the attributes he has can work on the wing because he likes to dribble, he likes to cut, he likes to shoot, he links up well. I think he can play the 1-2 well with Odegaard. He's not Martinelli quick, but I think he is Saka quick. Like he's got that decent pace on him to play on the wing. Because I know Martinelli did well today, but having a right-footed winger on the right for us, the way we play, the way we link up, I just don't think it works as much.
Exactly, but that might help us be a bit more unpredictable in it against teams that know what we're going to do, bro. And I think Martinelli
is very direct as well.
Today, in more games going forward, it's promising.
Do you know what's funny, right? Go on, ask that question. Go on. No, sorry, go on, mate. Go on, bro.
Yeah, no. Last time we spoke on here, you were talking about sometimes we're not direct enough, right? We're not vertical enough at times. Do you not feel like having a right-footed winger who can go down that line, put in crosses, give us some, where we can attack the box? Because today I felt we were a lot more vertical today. We played more forward. So maybe having Martinelli on that right hand side will give us that directness that we were talking about our attack lacked, because sometimes we're a bit too stale. We're too safe. We cut inside and go back, and we go side to side. And we play around.
Might need a player to make it unpredictable.
Yeah, I agree. But for me, the directness mainly meant like the way we attack, passing the ball forward, playing through balls the way we did against Crystal Palace today and in the League Cup. But I hear your point. But the problem is that it could also, with the players we have, like Martinelli and maybe not Trossard as much, but with Martinelli and Sterling, God forbid, I think even though they have that directness, it becomes sometimes, I have to say God forbid, because he might actually start one day. With having these guys, I think sometimes it could be too predictable. Like even if he starts going out on the outside, if there's a decent fullback who knows how to stop him, he will cover the outside run, and they'll let Martinelli get in on his weaker foot, which he's not going to do anything with.
But he can always be his man.
Ash, you also have to realize that regardless, right? Martinelli on the right today, we saw how he played. He got doubled up a lot of times today. If you watch the game, they were doubling up on Martinelli, and I was like, who's doubling up on Martinelli? Martinelli is a bomb to me. He's not going to pass you. Like, just stop doubling up on this guy. But he did. He pulled a lot of players away. He won corners. And if he's that direct and that vertical, and we have that pace on that side, and he's the one playing while Saka is injured, I think he'll win a lot of
corners, but he got in behind quite a few times.
I think you've got to look at it as well. Most teams play with inverted wide players. Most teams now, which means, what do you think fullbacks are doing in training every day? They're practicing defending against players that don't go on the outside. And I think even in the short term, and it did in this game, and it will do it in others, I think you can create a problem. Just on Saka, though, these are the words directly from Arteta's mouth. He said here, we are pretty worried about Bukayo Saka. He grabbed his hamstring and he couldn't continue. He'll have to be assessed and scanned, but we are pretty worried. Yes. It sounds to me like
he went out in crutches. He went out in crutches.
Just look at him on the picture as well. It looked like a real deep graded tear. I'm going to say this now. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I think it's going to be 8 weeks. So
this is probably his first major injury for Arsenal.
It looks really like. Well, I feel like his hamstrings have been on the edge of going for a while.
Oh yeah, he gets kicked every game.
Well, your hamstrings aren't necessarily. You don't.
No, hamstrings don't get. Kicking doesn't affect hamstrings.
It's more about the amount of games he has played and how hard he works. Yeah. And he's had that. It's been his hamstrings. I swear it's been his hamstrings and other things. His legs have always had these issues.
It's been his Achilles.
His Achilles as well. Yeah, and it just feels like it's gone. But yeah, look, it's that looks like it's going to be a 6 to 8 weeker, which means other players have got to step up. Equally, you guys have got to go in the market and spend. Like this is.
I was going to say this could be
money is massively important for Arsenal now.
This could be where we get a good disguise. Yeah, we actually go out and sign a really good player in attacking areas.
Yeah, I mean this has been the issue because we haven't signed a deputy to Saka or someone who can rotate with him.
Look at Sterling. He's not even in the matchday squad. He's injured and he barely plays. But even
Sterling is not like right? So,
but he can play right wing.
God forbid.
Yeah, but
send him back to Chelsea.
If we get somebody for the left wing, I think Martinelli can do the right wing for the short term till Saka gets back.
Yeah, I think we should focus on a centre back.
I think we fix the left wing. We get an out and like somebody on the left wing that is amazing. Get me a Lookman. Get me somebody very very good, and then put Martinelli on the right for the next few games. Let him cover on that right. Let's see what he does as the direct winger, and then when Saka gets back, Martinelli will deputize for whoever is on the left wing.
Trossard is an ambidextrous, so why not just play him right? He can cut it on the left and right.
This is the footage of Bukayo Saka. Let's just take a quick look at this, guys.
It might be worse than you think, Terry. It could be a grade 3 hamstring, which is 3 months out surgery.
The way he's dragging that foot doesn't fill you with any confidence.
Exactly. But usually, you know, the coaches
like he's not even got control of it, bro.
Coaches are for preventing getting worse. So it might not be super bad. They're using crutches so that you don't put any weight on it at the very beginning. They still need to do a scan. So, you know, you can try to guess from what we see, but we'll never know until the doctors actually check it.
But Dio, the only thing I'll say though is it looks like even when you see Saka walking there, you can see he's trying to just test it to see if he can put any pressure on it.
Yeah,
the
but
first time he tried it, he was
no.
I know he's told not to, but you can see that he's trying to test it himself to see if he can put any kind of pressure. He's like, he can't do it, and then
don't speculate on that.
Don't
ever speculate in the hamstring injury ever.
Yeah, you never know. That's what like you never know.
Yes,
I think it's going to be long.
He's limping and everything until they do the CT. Right, they won't know the degree of the injury. It might be second degree. It might be even first degree. The people that play,
they probably won't even tell us. Arsenal don't report this.
They won't tell you. They won't tell you what type of a degree it is, but they will tell you because you know, like second degree is from like 6 weeks to 8. Third degree, as my man said, it might require surgery or a long spell out.
It looks like he's out of the Man United game, which is not. I'm not celebrating it.
We don't need him. We don't need him for that game. That's fine.
Did we need him?
We've seen a Christmas miracle. You know, we've seen a Christmas miracle this week, didn't it? With Jesus scoring twice. So
exactly. Hayes, don't let Jesus score against you.
He's a super chat here for Gunner Souls.
Oh dear,
making me laugh. Right? It says Gunner Souls. You might have Jesus, but Liverpool have got Mohammed. Gunner Souls. You need to worry about Chelsea, not Liverpool.
Well, listen, Chelsea have no ability in it. One's got Jesus, one's got Mohammed. Who do Chelsea have?
Chelsea have got no back either.
Yeah, they
if
got
only Moises Caicedo was Moses Caicedo, it would have worked.
Fuck me, that's funny. Yes, but yeah, we'll leave that one there before I get cancelled. Mo, I don't know why I'd get cancelled for that, but the world is full of
before you get cancelled.
I don't know anymore. I get accused of all sorts every day. Every day my dad DMs me or texts me going, son, I've seen this about you today. I'm like, what? It's just some of the weird. My dad always laughs. He's like, bro, it's weird, isn't it? The internet. I said, mate, it's crazy. It's great. Sorry, Mo, over to you. Go on, mate.